What's up, guys? Kyle Chris here, bringing you guys another Dragon Ball Super video. And today, we're gonna be doing the fan voted deck archetype video for the meta or mid series, mid or meta, whatever it's called, which is going to be the Control Broly. I've dubbed it Invoker Broly. It's not like the actual Invoker stuff, but it's a spellcasting leader, and primarily just a spellcasting leader. It's called not the Awakened Demon. It's the Demon Cometh or something, right? Yeah, the Demon Second Coming. So this guy here is what we're gonna end up building. I mean, it's interesting for sure, right? There's a lot of unique things you can do with it, and we're gonna see if we can make it competitive. So that's gonna be the big thing here. So make sure you guys like and subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Obviously, so since we've already picked now a leader from that poll, I'm also going to be doing the second place leader, which I believe is the Chaos Bringer Toa, which is the promo Toa. For the next basically few days, I will see what you guys put in the comments for what leaders you guys want to see next. Make sure you guys comment and post your leader of what you guys want to see in the next poll. We'll set up the next poll once I get 4 or 5 potential picks. You guys can vote on them for the next week, okay? So, Broly, we'll go to the deck, the leader real quick, just so you guys have a little bit of an idea. Permanent, you can't include non-Broly battle cards in your deck, which sucks. Now this isn't Dark Broly, this isn't Broly BR, this is Broly, so this is going to be OG Broly. Auto, choose 1 extra card in your hand and discard it. When this card attacks, you draw 2, and you awaken at 3 life, where you draw 2 and restand 1. So you do end up drawing quite a bit. Second side, when this card attacks, you draw 1, and if there are 7 or more red extra cards in your drop area, you can activate the Activate Battle skill on a red non-field extra card with an original energy cost of 3 or less in your drop area without paying its energy cost. If you do, send that card to the warp, activate battle, choose 1 extra card in your hand, and discard it. This card gets 5k for the battle. Pretty cool, right? So, once per, during the auto, when this card attacks, you get 1 activate battle for free, and you just send it to the warp. And you activate battle on a non-red field spell with an original energy cost 3 or less. So, any activate battle skill, you should be able to activate on these, right? So it's pretty interesting. So this leader came out in, how was it? I can't remember. Yeah, it was Saiyan Showdown. Okay. So we're gonna go over, just kind of get some of the archetype cards kind of out of the way, so we can start building this deck. And this may be a little bit of a longer video because this is like thorough. Like, I'm gonna try to be as thorough as possible with making this list. Now, there may be some things that I forget. I am human, so don't crucify me for it. So we have SS Broly. This is your super combo, Sparking 5. Obviously, we got to run this guy. Gotta have a super combo. It doesn't make much sense not to have a super combo. Currently, we're gonna add this guy in, and we may end up changing this. So permanent, if you have 3 or more red extra cards in your drop area, this card gains double strike. It's pretty cool. Activate +1. Activate main. Look up the top 5 cards of your deck. Add up to 1 red extra card that costs 3 among them. 3 or less among them. With an activate battle skill among them, add them to your hand. Auto -2 when your opponent attacks with a battle card. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets -3k for the turn for each extra card in your drop area. This is kind of like a difference of status effect, essentially, on the Unison. So it's pretty cool. So we'll include that for now. And then we have the boss monster, essentially, of the deck, which is Super Saiyan Broly, Brutality Beyond Measure. This is a 35k deflect double strike. If your opponent has 3 or more energy, and you have 5 or more red extra cards in your drop area, this card becomes a 3 cost. So it's a 3 cost, 35k deflect double strike. Once per turn, choose 1 card in your hand, discard it. When you activate the Activate Battle skill on a red extra card with energy cost 3 or less or more from your hand, switch this card to active mode. If the card you discarded is a copy of this card, you draw 2, and then choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards or Unison's ignoring barrier and give it -35k. Now, okay, yeah, so to get the draw 2 and -35, it has to be a copy of this card. Otherwise, you can't. So that's, but he does get the restand whenever you pitch. If you pitch a You discard one card from your hand, activate a skill. So we'll include 4 of those. And I think there was another Broly outside of this guy here. It seems there's any other Brolys in this. I don't think so. A 1-drop. Probably won't be bad to just include. We want to have, we're going to start with a decent amount of combo power and then kind of break down the deck from there and see if we can kind of thin some of the stuff out. We have Super Saiyan Broly finishing the job. 16k auto 1 green, or green red. Leader is a red Broly. When you activate the extra card, you play this, play this from your hand. The card attacks, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, you get to minus 10k, or choose your opponent's unison and get to minus 15k. This card's really cool because this card will allow you to shred unisons, which is very, very important for us. We want to be able to get rid of unisons. So that's pretty cool. So that's kind of it for, I guess, the stuff. We'll go over the extra cards and stuff afterwards. We're going to do that last because that's kind of going to be the bulk of the deck. Big thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to utilize Senzu Bean in this deck. And I think it's something that should be utilized in this deck. At the highest level, I think it's going to be something that you're going to really want to look at and playing, just because Senzu Bean just allows this deck to extend a lot. So let's go to, obviously there's not going to be any Broly cards in here. So you should be able to activate any red spell. So like this combination attack, it actually seems pretty broken in this deck, just allowing you to restand. Any of these have activate main battles? I think there's one. I thought there was one. Where's Emperor's Death Beam? Doesn't Emperor's Death Beam have oh, it's an activate main battle, that's right. So you actually can't. It's actually be an activate battle. Has to be an activate battle. This card's actually interesting. We're going to actually just add this in one of for now. We'll go back through. If you guys watch these videos enough, you guys know that I kind of just pick cards. We'll go back through them, adjust ratios, do things. I'm just kind of just looking at stuff and just picking stuff out that I see to kind of be fit. So the secret rare slot is very interesting. You have, well, realistically, you have 2 options, right? You have the, what is it, Wicked Saiyans? You have the Wicked Saiyans option. The problem is that I don't know if this card can actually be played in the deck, because this card is not only Broly, it's a bunch of other stuff. It does check the requirement for being a Broly card, but also checks the requirement for being a non-Broly card. So we're not even going to test it, because, or put it in the deck, because I don't think it actually works. So your 2 options essentially are going to be SS4 Broly, the Great Destroyer, kind of your main go-to here, or it's going to be the Super Saiyan 3 Gohanks, which is also not a bad card. So we'll kind of add that in there for now and just kind of see. We'll go through them and figure some stuff out. All right, so we'll keep both those in there for now. And so Broly, right? So Broly cards, Broly battle cards. So let's just check on Broly battle cards and see what we have available to us. So Broly Crown, absolutely amazing card. We're just gonna slot 4 of those in for now. They can always be taken out. You might as well, right? A lot of the other cards are Brolys or Dark Brolys. This guy's cool. It's kind of cute. It's not really going to help us out too much. Everything else here is Dark Broly or Broly BR. We're not really going to dip into green to run like the old OG Broly stuff. That just doesn't really make too much sense. I think that's it. Obviously for this, this is going to be like your battle card of choice you're going to play. Against red decks, gets around Yamcha, gets around the UI Goku, gets around some other stuff. But just being a 1-drop that you can play when you activate an extra card skill is pretty dope. You also can activate these cards obviously from the drop area too when you awaken. So it's just a good thing to use. You also can use it to, like I said, kind of kill unison. So if you swing into Unison, it's under 15k power. Essentially, when you swing at the Unison, you can then choose to negative by 15, which will then take a marker off. It will reset its power, go down a marker, and then this will take off another marker. So this is kind of like a double strike card for Unisons, which is pretty cool. Obviously, your super combo. We're running 4 of the battle card boss monster there, of course. Probably going to be 4 Broly Crown. I think Broly Crown is going to be a great card for this deck, not only because it's an archetype, but just being able to slowly, rip stuff from your opponent's hand. It's just going to allow you to get information, and information is definitely one of the biggest keys to winning this game in Dragon Ball. Just being able to see your opponent's hand is just there's nothing like it. We have Broly Slumbering Demon. So this card is essentially just a 1-drop cantrip. You can tap 2, and you can do stuff. You can do some cute stuff with the field spell. But we're not really going to do that. I don't think it's worth it. Paying 2 energy in this deck for something just to play out a card that can just die by most counterplays just doesn't feel very good. But this card being a 1-drop draw 1 cantrip just gives you a turn 1 play. If anything. So we're going to keep it at 4. This way we're maxing out on all the battle cards we can play, which gives us a total of what? You have 20, 40, 60, 80 combo power built into these because these are all 5k. You're running 4, 5 times 4 is 20. So, and then obviously you have your 4 super combos here, which are definitely going to be, essential to making this deck work. I do also, before we go into the red the red extra cards, which is obviously the whole component of the deck, I want to go over blue extra cards. And seeing there's any blue extra cards in here that do not require a blue leader, right? Like this. Like this is kind of cool. Doesn't restand energy though, which is kind of what we want. We want something that can restand energy, and I don't know if we're gonna find anything here. Yeah, I'm just looking because I don't actually know all the cards. This could be interesting. We'll tech in a Mafuba for now. This is actually very interesting because it doesn't need a blue leader, and it's only 1 blue energy. And since you don't have a lot of other stuff in the deck, this is kind of a like a petrification for us that we can use. Objection, God, only right. Imagine if objection was still allowed. Well, actually, we'll add the that version of it is much better. We do have Whis Coercion, which actually could be a pretty good card here. The thing is, we don't want to get too heavy into blue because it doesn't work off anything off of our effects. I'm just looking right now just to add some stuff just in case we wanted to. This is cool. I think Dirty Burst may potentially be a side deck card. So we got some blue cards here. I'll probably just move these over here for now. Because both of these cards actually could be very good side deck cards. So we'll just move Dirty Burst and Mafuba over to the side. So 2 Whis Coercion right now. We'll see kind of how that looks. Is if we go first, we want to charge a multicolor, right? We want to charge a multicolor. So we need to bring up our multicolor ratios a little bit, make it worth it. The question is, though, what do we run? Like, this doesn't make any sense to run. We can't play it for free. This is pretty cool. I actually made tech. This actually may be the one that we use because the rest of these are going to be Invoker-based cards, and since we're not technically able to play Invoker, it doesn't make so much sense to run the other ones, right? Tyranny's Cost is cool. We'll tech one of those in for now. Instinctive Reprisal is cool, but not as good. Do 3 combination attack for now. Alright, so let's see if we cut. I think this card is actually nuts. We can pitch multicolor as well from our hand. So technically none of these cards are actually dead. We're going to be able to utilize a lot of this stuff here. Alright, so combination attack. This is kind of your battle, your in the combo step battle trick that you can use to it's good having some tricks that you can do on both offense and defense, because it'll just allows you to play the game in a different way. And since we have access to blue, being able to pop something back to our opponent's hand and then restand a blue energy is very crucial. You can stop certain attacks if our opponent's going in with stuff, but just laying down, just having this available to us to put into the energy, so we can charge it is very, very good. This card too, we'll probably end up charging one of this, but this card here is actually pretty cool. So if you have 4 more energy, you can activate this card from your hand by placing 1 red card in your hand in the drop area instead of playing this card, which is amazing, right? So we actually can use this effect to put a mono red extra card in our drop area, swing with our leader to then activate that effect, and then at the start of our opponent's next main phase, whenever they charge their energy and they switch everything to active mode, you restand a blue energy, and then you neg one of your opponent's battle cards by 15k until the start of your next main phase. So for their entire turn, it's neg by 15k. You can use it to kill something. You can use it to neg a boss monster, whatever. But it's a really cool effect. This will allow us to kind of dive into like you can kind of use this as a just like a pitch 1 effect, right? Like you're pitching this card from your hand. So actually you activate this card by pitching a red card, right? So it can be any of our red extra cards that we're going to add, and then you can use your leader swings and then swing, right? So you basically pay it instantly, and then at the start of the phase it will happen. So yeah, that's how it works. Okay, cool. So we've kind of gone over a big chunk of the deck now, so now we need to go into the red extra cards, and this is where all the fun's gonna happen because we have a lot of things that we can do. Actually, before we do that, let's go into unisons. I am not super sold on running the Dark Broly unison as our only unison. I don't think it's amazing. I think the concept of it is pretty cool. It is a +1 draw 1, but it's a cycle, so we have to cycle a card, right? I'm thinking 1 Piccolo Jr. This card can come in handy against an array of things, but being able to just put this on the board against a blue or yellow deck seamlessly will just win you the game. This card's gonna be really difficult to remove. Now, obviously, you don't have a lot of battle tricks and things for unisons because you don't really have a combo step, but we're gonna be able to keep this alive and put a lot of pressure, right? So that guy, we have our probably what we're gonna run for the SCR. I'm not 100% sure yet. We'll get as we get farther into the deck, we'll figure that out. And then where is the baby unison? So this actually makes the deck fairly better because of how just busted this card is. We know it, right? If your leader's red and all of your energy is in rest mode, your leader gets 1k power, which is cool. So you give your leader a 1k buff, which on defense essentially turns your leader into a 20k, or into a, your opponent has to combo now to deal damage to it, right? So they can't just swing 15, they have to swing 20 at you. And that's really cool. It's a very, very good defensive tool. It's essentially just like having Bean, and we do have Bean in the deck too. So it gives us another out there. This card would lose a marker from an opponent's tag. You may place 1 card underneath this in the drop area instead. And this card just has an effect that says +1, draw 1, and then choose one of your opponent's battle cards placed underneath this, and this gains 10k for the turn. So it becomes a 20k and remove something for, just a +1, and also draws you a card. So you have removal, you have draw power, and you have kind of like a Bean effect if you tap out, which we're going to be tapping out in this deck quite a bit. So I think that's probably the way we're going to go. We're going to take out Dark Broly. Tapping out turn 2 doesn't seem like the greatest idea unless we're going to be able to go into a Piccolo Jr. and solidify the Piccolo Jr. by being able to play defense around it. Which if we can do that's great. If not, we'll go into turn 3 and then hopefully being able to awaken by then, which would be obviously crucial for us. So I think Baby's probably going to be the call. We'll see as we go farther here. This is probably going to be the lineup here. So now we're going to go into the extra cards. So we are at 41 cards. We'll probably need to skim down a little bit on the cards, but that's okay. We'll get to that when we need to. So extra cards, right? So this is a card that I think is this card's really cool, but we can't activate the activate main. It has to be activate battle. So this card actually would be busted, but we can't. So it kind of sucks a little bit. Let's see. If your leader's a red Frieza army, I don't think he's a red Frieza army. He's just a Saiyan, right? Yeah, he's just a Saiyan. Okay, just had to look. You never know, right? So we'll go back to his set and go over the cards that actually he comes with, because a lot of these cards are probably just the ones we're going to end up using. So the Demon Awakens. This is a Self-Awakener card for you, essentially. So if your leader is a red Broly card, and you send this card from your drop to your warp, add one card from your life to your hand, and then activate battle. Choose one of your cards, and it gets 5k for the battle. So it's just a free. It's essentially like a Cabla's Awakening kind of thing, just for the battle, or like a 4-star ball. And this is not limit 1. This is limit 1, right? So obviously for this, our leader has an effect whenever you swing. Well, actually, when you declare an attack, you pitch a red extra card from your hand first, and you draw 2. So essentially, you can pitch this off of it. You also can just keep this in your hand, and pitch something else, and then use this as a 5k combo on your defense, and then activate main it, and then take the life, right? But this will just allow us to slowly self-awaken. Once we get on the 5, we're gonna be fine, because then we'll have testing the ops, which is obviously something that we're gonna run in the deck, so we're not too worried about that. So we have the Demon Cometh. So if your leader is a mono red Saiyan, you choose one extra card in your hand and discard it. You draw 2. This is cool. We may end up adding it. We may have to cut it completely just because of space. But it has another effect. If your leader is a red Broly card, you may choose this card in your hand and discard it. Choose one card in your hand and discard it. If you're So you send this card from the warp, and then you pitch one card from your hand, and you play one Broly with an energy cost of 1 from your deck. Now this is cool. We'll take it in as a 2 for now, but this is actually very interesting because we can use this to play out Broly Crown or the cantrip. Probably more so Broly Crown. But also this just allows us to awaken. I mean, like, this just allows us to just gain, ton of hand size, right? Which is something that this deck does very well. It's just it draws quite a bit. So then we have the 3 demonic cards. We have Blitz, Playtime, and Barrier. Blitz is a negate, which we're going to be adding this, so it ends up costing 1 because of our leader being a red Broly. It's a negate, and choose one of your opponent's battle cards and negative by 10. You can only activate this counter attack, limit 1, so once per turn, which kind of sucks. So we'll take in 1 for now. Activate battle. You choose one of your cards and you give it 10k. That's cool, but it's a negate that also negs something, so this may end up getting replaced by something. So we'll just tech it for now. Playtime is a really good card. So Playtime, you give one of your you draw a card for 1. Activate battle. It's a limit 1. Draw 1 card. Choose one of your red cards. You give it 10k. Additionally, if that card is a Broly card, you get double strike for the battle. So you can give your leader double strike. You can give one of your battle cards double strike. But it gets 10k in double strike. It's very powerful. So probably put it at 4 for now. And then we have Demonic Barrier, which if your leader is a 15k or less, choose one of your cards and it gets it gains 5k power for the turn. Additionally, if that card is a Broly card, it also gains crit for the turn. So this is a very interesting card. So we're going to tech it in at 4 for now. Well, when you look at this card, it says if your leader is a 15k or less. So if your leader is a red Broly, reduce the energy cost of the card in your hand by 2. So this is on either turn, right? If your leader is a 15k or less, choose up to one of your cards, and it gets 5k power for the turn. So you can actually do this on defense as well. This is essentially another bean. Wow! So we actually have the ability to run 8 beans in the deck, not including having 5k combo power here, not including our baby Unison being able to give us 1k. So it's got a lot of stuff there, right? However, if you're at 16, so like if the baby gives you, the 1+, right? You can't use this card. So you have to be a little careful, because when you go up to 16, you're not, now when you check this, you're not actually passing the check. So you have to do this first, right? So you can't bean and then do this. You have to do this and then bean, essentially. But you also give you also can give a Broly card. If that card is a Broly card, it also gains crit for the turn. So essentially, you can give your leader crit for the turn. You also can give this guy crit for the turn, and then because you can do the restanding, you can make basically he becomes a 40k double strike crit, and then you can restand him, swing again, do some shenanigans like that. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And we have Gigantic Meteor, which this card is busted. It's actually kind of weird that people aren't playing it right now. So same thing, it's a 1 cost. Activate battle. If it's your turn, choose any number of your opponent's battle cards that add up to a total of 30k power or less and KO them. So Mask Saiyan, or Mask whatever it is, I don't remember what the card's called now. Secret ID. It's been so long since we played with it, right? So Secret ID obviously went away because of the token stuff coming out, right? Well, this is Red's version of that. You can just tap 1 or use this card from your leader effect, and you warp up to 30k energy. It's pretty cool. The other cool thing is that we're negging so many cards in this deck. You're going to be able to just kill a lot of battle cards for very, very cheap. Or you can choose one of your leader cards or your unison, and it gets 15k power and has its skills negated for the battle. Additionally, if the card chosen is a Broly card, the chosen card gets an additional 10k for the battle. So the idea is if you're hand dumping basically on like a 1 damage, right, where you really need this 1 damage to go through, you tack this on. This is essentially a 25k combo for essentially 0 if it's your leader or 1 if it's something else. On your opponent's turn, you basically are doing this, right? But this is you're using this offensively. That's kind of the idea. So we'll tech in 3 for now. So we're running out of space, as you can see here. So we're gonna have to cut some stuff down. We haven't even got to all the other extra cards, which is what we're gonna look at now. So, well, I'm just gonna see a lot of stuff here that we want. Obviously, Imposing Presence is gonna be a good card for defense. Violent Raise is gonna be great. Wolfing Fist is probably gonna be a necessary 4 of. Difference of Status is cool, but we're not gonna have a ton of markers, so we don't really want to do that. Beerus Ball is something that we're actually going to side in, since we do run a multicolor, and we can use this to give our leader another 5k, and also just use it as a floodgate stopper since we are running multicolor. So that is going to get teched in here at the end. Realm of the Gods, very good card. This will probably also get put into the deck. We'll just grab the Beerus Ball for now. Gallic Gun, not the greatest. Doesn't hit cards that have deflect, so we don't want it. Denial of Hope, this is very cool. Denial of Hope actually could work in this deck, but for 2 energy, it's a little expensive. Little expensive. A lot of these other ones don't seem very good. After Image Technique, probably want to add After Image Technique in there at some point. That seems really good. No, it doesn't work. Unending Awakening, this is a very good card as well, giving ourselves another 5k and its negate. We're going to put this card in the deck. Korin's Tower Secret Medicine, this is a very good card against small cards that have barrier that we want to get rid of. We'll end up teching that card in. And then Niagara Drop, this is a card that's very interesting. I see a lot of builds, when you look at this deck on DBS Planner or whatever else, you see this card in a lot of the decks. So if your leader is a red Saiyan card, choose up to one of your leader or battle cards for the duration of the turn. That card gets 5k. Then if your life is at 3 or less, and it's your opponent's turn, you choose one of your red energy switches to active mode and draw 1. So, it is a 2 cost that draws you a card and then restands an energy. So it's a bean that draws, right? You have to have 2 energy up at the beginning, but it is a very good card because of that. And then it just allows you to just kind of cycle, and you have so many cards in this deck that allow you to stay at a high life total, and just you're almost like you're almost a 20k leader essentially for the game because of how much you have in the deck that you can kind of maneuver around. So let's see what else we got. And then Testing the Ops, obviously very, very good. Kabba's Awakening we don't need because we have our version of Kabba's Awakening. Omen of Awakening would be good, but we don't play the 2-drop unit. We don't play the 2-cost unison as much as probably other people do. So since we have only the one, we can't really play that guy. Yeah, counterplays is kind of a problem we don't really have a way of getting around. A lot of counterplays, it's essentially gonna be Denial of Hope, and we may need to play Denial of Hope because of that, because we don't have another way around counterplays. Can announce a skill if your opponent announces they're playing a battle card with 20k power or less. Your opponent may place a battle card in the drive if they don't choose one of their battle cards. They choose one of their battle cards. It's not very good. This is cool, but it doesn't hit cards with deflect. Okay. Alright, so obviously we're not running 73 cards. We're going to be probably around the 55 mark. I think it's probably the best way looking at this. So we'll kind of skim this down a little bit. So Beerus Ball will go in the side. Beerus Ball on the side. I think we may take out Demonic Blitz. I think we may take out Demonic Blitz. I don't think it's needed. No, I think Unending Awakening is just a better negate. So here's kind of where we get a little weird. So we may need to take out Whi's Coercion, but I don't really want to take out Whi's Coercion. I think it's a really good card. We'll take out Broly for now. We'll take out another Broly. Take out on 71. Down to 2 there. Oh, so Realm of the Gods. We'll go on the side. For sure. I don't think it's needed in the main board because we have Gigantic Meteor. But this is a cool defensive card. It's a 15k that draws you a card. So it does have some defensive purposes, but I don't think we need it right now in the main deck. Testing the Ops. Probably 3. Denial of Hope can go on the side. Put Denial of Hope on the side. That out. Probably do 3 of each of the demonics. And I think we're just going to cut the Demon Cometh. I just don't think it's a good enough card. Now, Secret Rare wise. So, I think because this card wipes through Barrier, I think it's going to be the better... that sucks. I think it's going to be the better Secret Rare for the deck. The problem is, and this is my one issue, is that we don't really want to get rid of Baby Unison, right? However, once we get to a certain part of the game, Baby Unison's not doing as much. Like, it's going to be removing a card once per turn, but this will allow us to either end the game or kind of do like a board reset, right? So Baby Unison will do quite a bit, but if we can drop this card, basically we'll wipe almost any board. It's uncounterable. There's no, like, there's a few green cards that counter Unisons, but it's not going to do much. You play this, you wipe your entire opponent's board. Now you have a 25k dual attack blocker on board, where you can swing it at once to, you know, maybe pop a Unison or swing twice at a Unison. And also when your opponent attacks the battle card, you may neg it by 25k, and it's a +1. So you're going to be able to just basically remove something else, and between this and using an extra card in the battle step, you can probably just kill any Secret Rare as well. So, and then -4, this card becomes a 40k triple strike, and obviously it's going to be 40k triple strike dual attack, and then at the end of the turn it switches to active mode. So also works as a defensive target. So I think this is going to be very good. I think it's probably the best card for the deck, Secret Rare wise. SS4 Broly is great, but it does require you to have this on board. And for some reason, if you can't get this on board, you can't get it established, this card is just going to end up saving you. Like, you think in the matchup right, if you think of like the meta right now, you're looking at so Cell. This card could just completely decimate Cell. You're going to wipe their entire board of all of their 8 drops, and then they're never going to be able to go into Xeno Cell and kill you because they're not getting through this card, right? Outside of that, you have Gamma. Gamma plays a lot of stuff, but you can play this, kill their entire board, neg all of their cells, and then swing, and then use like a Gigantic Meteor, and then you're basically just wiping their entire board. They're donezo, right? They're gone. Because your auto also triggers, so even if they decide to negate, your auto will still go off, and then you can just gigantic meteor and then just kill everything that they have on board. So you have that matchup. You have the Trunks Vegeta matchup. Again, being able to kill everything through barrier is fantastic. Even if this card gets put in rest mode, right? You probably have ways of baiting around it, maybe. But even if you just play this for 4, and you just wipe their board, you're like, great. You don't have any Trunkses, any Vegetas, any Poutines, any Basils, any Turleses, whatever. It's all dead. And now they have to reset, and that's not very, very good for that deck. So yeah, I think that's probably the best call. Violent Rays. So Violent Rays is interesting. I think Violent Rays is really good. I just don't know if this deck absolutely needs Violent Rays in the main deck. Just because you have so many battle card tricks, and you're going to be able to keep your life pretty high. So we'll just put 2 in the side deck right now. If someone wants to play in this deck, you probably can. Obviously, you let me know if it's going to feel better differently. 2 Gigantic Meteor. We'll probably end up putting 1 on the side. I think Wolfang Fist is going to be a 4 of. Not 4 of. Oops, sorry. 2 of. Because we're not running the 2-drop Unison, it's not going to be as versatile, but being able to just neg something ignoring barrier by 15k, I think will be pretty cool. Afterimage is probably going to be the 4 of. Because Sparking 5, we're going to be at a high life total most of the game, and there's going to be a certain point, so like if you swing, you pitch a card, you pitch like, once this card gets in the drop area, right, you pitch this, you warp this, you know, burst 1, you go up to like 2 or 3 turn 2, and by turn 3 you'll be probably at 4 or 5 of these in drop, and now those cards are gonna be live. So we're still 5 too many. So we actually will cut down on, we'll get rid of Tyranny's Cost, and we'll get rid of the Whis Coercion. Takes down to 62. Still really high. We'll do 1 Niagara drop, 2 Unending Awakening, and this is 60. I mean, this is a lot. This is a lot of cards. We need to keep this balanced, but in order to make this effective, we need to cut down a lot of cards here in the main deck. So I think Wolfang may end up coming out. I think Wolfang may end up coming out here. I think we may have to do Imposing Presence, and maybe this card I think is just gonna get cut. I just don't think it's as viable. For 58, we have 3 of those, 3 Afterimage. We probably will go down the 2 Testing the Ops, because we have 3 of these. These here we can probably do like a, which one draws? This guy draws, right? Yeah, Demonic Playtime draws. So we'll do Demonic Playtime. We'll do 2 of the Demonic Barriers. This is a 4 of for sure. So I don't think anything else needs to change there. Maybe go down to 5. We'll go down to 2 of this guy. Yeah. And actually, you know what? We'll do a 3-3 split. That way, yeah, right. Just do a 3-3 split of all the non-super combo and boss monster Broly's. And so side deck here. So we have Mafuba. This is really cool because your opponent plays a battle card that has an auto pending. This card will remove it, so the skill cannot be activated, so it stops them from being able to do whatever the auto is. So it's kind of like a petrification. So we're gonna tech 2 of those in. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Dirty Burst. So Dirty Burst is 2 blue. I think we'll just put it in as a 1 of. But it is very interesting that you can use this to kind of just stop a turn, right? So I think just 1 of is probably fine. Beerus Ball. So Beerus Ball is going to be a 3 of. This card is actually snapped in this deck. Yeah, this is just really good. So on defense, it pops something 4 less coming into play. I'm sorry, 15k or less coming into play, and then your leader becomes a 20k for the turn. So just giving you a defensive bean that you also can take down a life to go down to 3 to awaken is also pretty powerful. Denial of Hope. I don't think actually Denial of Hope is gonna actually be something that's gonna make the cut, unfortunately. Realm of the Gods. We'll probably do 3 Realm of the Gods. I think Realm of the Gods could be absolutely broken. because you can use this to just, for defensive purposes, right? Because Gigantic Meteor is definitely a better one cost kill X amount of cards on board, because this will just neg 30, but this will kill a bunch of stuff totaling up to 30, which is why we're going to include 2 Gigantic Meteor in these. I did not spell gigantic right, so we're gonna do 2 Gigantic Meteor in the side. Gets us to 13. I don't really think there's anything else we can probably do. Probably another testing. And then probably a Broly Crown. Just to have another Broly Crown. Yeah, I think this is pretty interesting of a list. Let me know what you guys think. We'll go over the list here real quick, just kind of as a total recap. So we have a 55 card main deck, 15 card side deck. Just because we are a draw 2 leader, we're going to be cycling through our deck pretty quickly, and we need to be able to just have a bunch of, just a decent amount of options going into late game, because this is kind of a late game deck. Because we're not running SS4 Broly, we don't have that burst effect really to go in and kill. We're basically just focusing on our 6 drops to kind of do most of the work for us until we can kind of slam down Gohanks and then just reset and then just kind of play basically a new game plus of whatever game that we're in, because this is just gonna just remove whatever's on board. So four super combos for the boss monster Broly, 3 of the cantrip Broly, as well as 3 of the Broly Crown, just giving us some 1-drop plays we can do, either to cycle more cards or to look at our opponent's hand, or to force a counterplay out of our opponent's hand as well. This card could potentially go back up to 4 if you end up playing the deck, but this is just a battle card that you can end up playing after you activate a skill, and then you can use this to either clear board or clear a unison. Senzu Bean, 4 of, I think it's pretty self-explanatory if we are running multicolor, and we have 7 multicolors in here. Combination attack and Phantom Fist will be the targets. I think Tyranny's Cost could be also a target eventually as well. But again, I'm not playing this deck. This is just kind of what I'm seeing off the current form of the meta. What would make this deck competitive, and definitely would be running these. 1 of Piccolo Jr. Unison. That's a secret rare essentially. Card is very good. You can play this on turn 2. It's probably going to survive most encounters. Maybe turn 3 if you don't have Baby Unison, which is going to be our other Unison of choice. Just because this card is so stinking good. It just gives you board removal, gives you a draw, gives you a 20k attacker, allows you to remove something else on board if you want to attack into it, just allows you to just kind of stabilize and, hold down the fort a little bit before you get your Gohanks out. We have our extra cards down here. We have the basically our 4-star ball, aka the Demon Awakens. Also, we can use this to self-awaken as well. Demonic Playtime and Demonic Barrier, both giving our leader double strike. A Broly card double strike or crit, which we have our leader in our 6 cost for that. And also this guy too. And I guess Broly Crown and the 1-drop 2 you also can use to actually swing into stuff. The Gigantic Meteor is going to be our offensive board removal. Being able to activate it with our leader for free is just going to be very, very powerful. And now we have all of our defensive cantrips here, essentially. Well, these 2 are defensive cantrips, but these 2 just kind of stabilizing, giving us defense. King Imposing Presence, negating something by 10k, ignoring barrier, and then every time they attack, they have to neg a card by 5. That card gets negged by 5. Just will shut down turns, essentially. Your opponent's not going to want to swing, especially aggro decks. And that's what you would be struggling against, right? Because you don't really establish anything till like turn 3, turn 4. And being able to just use this just to stop them from attacking, very, very good card. 3 After Image as well. Once we get to 5 cards in the drop area, this is just going to be live. This will allow us to slowly take our life to a point where we feel comfortable, so then we can awaken and continue the game. A negate that also gives us a bean effect for the turn, and then we have 2 Imposing Presence. Testing the opposition. Just in case we do get aggro down, we don't get any other stuff. We want to go down to 5 from 5 to 4 or 4 to 3, knowing that we can live and then awaken next turn. For the side, we have 2 Mafuba, 1 Dirty Burst, 3 Beerus Ball, 3 Ultra Instinct, the Realm of the Gods, 2 Violent Rays, 2 more Gigantic Meteor, one testing and one crown, just to give us some more consistency, depending on what we need to see. So this is what I got for you guys today. This was a very fun deck to make. I've always wanted to play this deck. I don't have red. I don't play red. I don't own really any of the red cards anymore. I sold out of red, I think, twice, just because it's always been so expensive. So this is definitely something I could see being played. Someone would really need to put some time into this deck because of the, you're not really playing battle cards at all. It's just an extra card based deck. That's why we call it the Invoker deck. So yeah, I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you guys think down below. Leave comments and feedback of what you guys think would be changed in the deck, whether it's good or whether it's bad. If you guys have play tested it or not, any good matchups, things like that. As always, leave down comments of what you guys want to see in the next video so I can put it in the polls for you guys to choose from. So thank you guys again for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.